Hey guys, Basil and Wolf for GraysonHobby, and today we have a new product that's not a quad.
It's not?
Oh my gosh.
Is it a radio? Is
Hell
it a
is
quad?
freezing over. It's not a new quad.
It's a receiver.
Yeah, so today we're going to go over a high-level product showcase of the new receiver from Jumper. They actually have two. They have the R1
and the R8. Today we're going to go over the R1. So it's the new receiver from Jumper that's going to compete with the RXR and XSR receivers.
And this, real quick, this was released back in late summer, late spring?
Yeah, they released some pre-production earlier in the year, and I think they've gone through it. Like, they had some beta testers on it, and I think this is finally the official version.
Right, so the one we have are dated on September 19th?
It's 9/19/2019. As far as batches go on, the number will change. Yeah. Obviously, it'll get newer. Right. But that's just a manufacturer date, so they can keep up with it. They do the similar thing with the Jumper radios as well.
So if you see any reviews before 9/19, they're not real.
Possibly, yeah.
Alright, like always, if this video gives you any value, please give us a big thumbs up and a like and subscribe to our channel. And if this video really helps out, any purchase from GraysonHobby helps, either a pack of quads,
pack of props,
either a pack of props or a radio and quad, or even both.
Who are we talking about? Who can? Pack of props. Pack of quads.
Pack of props.
We have a new receiver from Jumper. So not only is Jumper stepping on Free Sky's toes with a radio for a fraction of the price, but they're coming out with a receiver that's also a fraction of the price. So this is a Jumper R1 receiver, and I'm going to go ahead and open it. And this is actually the R1 Plus is what they're calling it. And this is actually produced 9/19/2019. So this is a very new product. There was an earlier version, I believe, but now this is, I guess, the official version that's hit the market.
Really, yeah.
It's going to come with two harnesses. If you are familiar with the RXSR, it's the same plug. Different wire pin out though, so don't just expect to just plug one into the other if you got everything wired up. But the one harness has a servo end, so you can plug it into a standard connection with 3-pin. And this is one if you want to wire it up to a flight controller to access all the modes or all the features. The receiver here, this is 16 channels with S-Bus. It is running the D16 protocol, and you can actually see it says D16 mode on it. It does have an RSSI capability that feeds back to the transmitter, so if you're like the analog RSSI, it has an RSSI port on it. That's the analog RSSI port for 0 to 3.3 volt.
What does that mean?
The receiver signal strength indication.
Okay. No, the what do you think? The port thing.
Some flight controllers have an RSSI port. Otherwise, you back loop it through the radio through settings to transmit on it.
So it's good.
It's just like the RXSR.
Okay.
Or the XSR, actually, is probably the closer one to compare it to. It does have S port.
Okay.
So you can do the two-way communication on that to, Lewis scripts and all that. Operating voltage is 4 to 6 volts. So it doesn't run as high of a voltage, I believe, as the RXSR and the XSR did. But 4 to 6 volts is typically what most flight controllers are running, 5 volts, so it's perfectly within that.
Okay.
I'm actually kind of curious how low of a voltage it would work to without losing having any issues or anything like that. But 4 to 6 volts should be plenty fine. Most modern flight controllers have a stable enough 5-volt system on it. You shouldn't worry about it. And again, this is mostly for racing quads, stuff like that. A lot of planes have flight controllers now. They're running like APM and all that. So yeah, you could run that as well in it if you want to. Current this thing consumes, they claim, is 80 milliamps at 5 volts. The effective distance, they're saying, is greater than 1.5 kilometers, and I believe that's the same as the rating on the XSR. Okay. The size of this guy is 20 millimeters by 15 by 4 millimeters.
Weigh him up right here.
And the weight, they're claiming, is less than 2 grams, so let's see what it is with the antennas and shrink tube on it. I'm going to drop that on there. 2.3. Ah, we caught you in a lie, guys. No, just kidding. With the factory shrink tube and antennas and the connector and all that, it's 2.3 grams. If you run the harness on it, you're looking at a whopping 2.9 grams.
Okay.
Not a big deal.
So, real quick, you said something about the shrink wrap, and I love the fact it already has it on there.
Yeah.
Because I can't tell you how many times I went to go build something and it didn't come with shrink wrap.
Yeah. This is, it's nice that it actually already has it on there. They kind of shorthanded on this particular one, though. You still have exposed components on the board, so I'm not the craziest about that. Maybe this is a one-off, maybe not. A worst-case scenario, you get some probably like 12mm shrink tube and redo it.
But at least it starts.
At least it has something to where it's not a bare board. Yes, I will give them that. Size-wise, it is bigger than an RXSR, so let me grab one. Compare it. So the Jumper Radio, let's compare it with a couple of receivers on the market from FreeSky. So this is the RXSR that everybody's familiar with. This is the XM Plus, so let's go in between here, size-wise. It's the same length as the XM Plus, it looks like. Yep. Minus the header connector. Now this is an older one. This is the XSR, not the RXSR, but the regular XSR. This is one of the early ones they did without the servo pins, etc. That was designed for multi-rotors and stuff like that. So you can see it's very similar. It's basically halfway in between these two. And for most guys running like 5-inch quads, 4-inch quads, 3-inch quads, and probably even most 2-inch quads, it's gonna fit. I think actually the closest thing I would consider this was like King Kong, that new S2000 receiver. Okay. It's pretty similar size to that. So I think that's going to be the closest comparison to that, actually.
Also, notice the antennas look like they're easy.
Yeah, and these are the IPEX connectors. They're larger. They're a little more robust. This is like what the Spectrum receivers still use. It's the larger connector, which is what the original X4R, I believe, had. So they're using the larger connector, so you can't run XM Plus antennas on it.
And then go, oh, it's too big, but you'd be surprised how many people have trouble.
A lot of people end up messing up these connectors, replacing them, so yes.
More people mess them up than don't.
Yeah.
If you don't have a problem, good for you.
The larger connector actually seems to hold on better, too. It's less likely to get popped off accidentally. I've actually seen a couple XM Pluses and all that. Even out of the box, they were popped off underneath that glue. So that's always something to check on your receivers. But I like the larger connector. Again, this is going to be for a bigger quad in the sense you're not going to put it on your toothpick. You're not going to put it on your 60mm, brushless quad and all that. So it's just another alternative out there without breaking the bank. So it's another way to get you in there cheaper. I'm going to move these out of the way for now. To show you guys how the receiver works, it's the same bind presses as all the other ones. I'm going to go ahead and use the MC06 module that we had in our prior video to get the sucker in. And this receiver's already been bound, but
we can do it again.
We're going to do it again. So I'm going to unplug that. I'm going to push and hold the bind button and plug it back in. And you'll see the red light and the green light, which might be hard to come up in the video because the green light's so bright.
Yeah.
But with both of them on, I'm going to go into my radio, my Jumper Radio, and use my new internal settings, internal module, and I'm going to bind it in D16 mode. And we should see that LED flashing, which means it's binding. I'm going to go ahead and stop the bind. I'm going to power cycle the receiver. And we should see, oh yeah, look at that. So now we're seeing our S-Bus signals and all that. Hopefully you guys can see that on the TV here. On your YouTube channel, viewer.
So we got bindages.
We got bindages and stuff. Yeah. So now we're bound, and you guys can see here the S-Bus and all that good stuff. So.
All right.
There you go.
Simple as that.
All right, so that's a good little receiver there.
Yeah, it's a under $20 receiver that's going to compete with the RXSR, XSR, etc.
And it works. Does it work with the FreeSky radios?
It does work with FreeSky.
Okay,
in D16.
Sure. I don't think we mentioned that, but just you never know. People will be asking that.
Yeah.
Does it work with Spectrum?
No.
All right. Can I get it to work with my FlySky?
No.
All right. That's out of the way.
D16 protocol. So if you have a FreeSky module or FreeSky radio or Jumper radio that has FreeSky capability, D16 mode.
What if I have a Spectrum and have one?
And it also doesn't support the LBT or the European standard of the D16. It's only the regular one right now.
Okay.
Rumor has it that you can flash XSR firmware on it. I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. We just got this in. So that's something I'm going to probably play with that and then range test and stuff like that.
So, hey, let us know. If you guys flash it and it works out, let everybody know. Help everybody out. And maybe we can show everybody how to do it if it's difficult. Yep. Definitely leave it in the comments below if you can. All right, so that's the first look of the Jumper
R1 Plus.
R1 Plus.
Because the plus means better, obviously.